Our story begins after the announcement of the death of Gaitoru within the Infinity Castle. Kokushibo didn't care about this fact. Going back to his room where he resided, the ex-slayer closed his eyes, reflecting on his past, shaking his head in rejection of even thinking of such things. As he opened his eyes, right in front of him was the spirit of his brother Yoruichi. Immediately gripping his flesh katana, the room lit up from the beautiful crescent moons flying everywhere, destroying the room in 10 rooms that were connected. Standing before him with patience, the vestige of Yoruichi smiled. "I've been with you this entire time. The regrets you ignore, I refuse to ignore with you. Our time has passed, brother. Deep down inside, you have a heart. Your tears to my death proved it," said the legendary slayer. As the spirit of his brother vanished, the demon was standing in front of a mirror, seeing his reflection and reflecting on what he's became for power. No more will he be this monster, this disgusted fiend. If he couldn't fix how he was on the outside, the least he could do is change what he was on the inside. Going to the Benoit woman, he'd immediately order her to transport him to the swordsmith village. With his rank being number 1, she didn't question this at all. Arriving, he'd quickly move. As for Hantengu and Goyoko was already deployed. Stepping foot into the forest sent shock waves of fear towards the 5th upper moon in Muchido. Gripping his katana, this was the most powerful opponent that he's ever stood before. Except within that instant, this demon cut down the other. "Kokushibo, Lord Kokushibo, why?" uttered the words of the pathetic 5th upper moon as his head fell to the floor. "Boy, we'll discuss this after. Destroy the remains." Wasting no time, even in this confusion, the Miss Hashira cut the head to ashes, blowing it away in the nighttime breeze. Calming himself, then turning around to face the 1st upper moon, he had vanished to the young boy's surprise. Moving like a blur across a village, he'd saved Tanjiro from getting crushed by Hantengu, proceeding to cut down the fused emotions. Looking at the boy he saved, both of them stared deep inside each other's soul, seeing the spirit of his brother emit from the young child, bringing a tear running down his face. Young Kamado was so confused, feeling both a sense of fear and a warm familiarity. Focusing on the task in front of them, the first would exactly point at Hantengu's real body, having Tanjiro vanquish him. Arriving at the battlefield would be Muchido standing firm next to Tanjiro, facing towards the demon that helped them for some strange reason. Sheathing his flesh katana, Kokushibo would introduce himself, explaining to both boys his life and regrets, believing the monster he's became overpowered was a mistake, and wishing to atone for his sin. Sensing the honest truth from the man, both slayers agreed to accept his help in getting rid of Muzan. Our scene skips to the Hashira training arc. Knowing that the other slayers wouldn't be convinced with this agreement, Tanjiro and Muchido trained secretly with the 1st upper moon, drastically increasing their power way further than the original timeline. Revealing that he's Tokito's ancestor, he'd teach him moon breathing, which he'd be extremely adaptable to. By the end of the training, both would surprisingly be stronger than Goemi. Entering the Infinity Castle, he'd immediately go to the room of the 2nd upper moon, accompanied by the Miss Hashira, knowing of the potential threat that needed to be dealt with. This brought no shock to Doma. He had already analyzed this being a possibility in the future based off his past of being a slayer. "I've always looked forward to taking your place, Lord Kokushibo. You of all demons had the biggest regret. Let us commence." Blitzing at the traitor would cause the explosion of clashing blades. This battle would be glorious. 2 monsters going at it would cause destruction to the castle. Kokushibo released several magnificent forms of glistening moon breathing, matching this apathetic demon blow for blow. Remembering the warm smile of his brother motivated him beyond imagination. The end result would be the 1st upper moon cut in the head of Doma, having Muchido destroy the demon with his Nichi blade. When he got to Muzan, he was getting jumped by all demon slayers, which he'd end up assisting, throwing all Hashiras off. Bringing the battle to a pause, you could even hear a pin drop. "You disgusting cretin. This betrayal of you proved that your life had no purpose. You failed at being a father, a husband, a brother, a slayer, and even a demon. All bathed in your remains, you fool." Ignoring everyone else, Muzan blitzed at Kokushibo, who'd be protected by Goemi, Tanjiro, and Muchido. Wasting no time, everyone would reply with an onslaught of attacks, bombarding the king of all demons until sunrise, ridding the ultimate threat from existence. The battle was over. Feeling like his life wasn't a complete waste, he saw the spirit of his brother standing behind Tanjiro, smiling at him. Yoruichi nodded at his brother in an embrace of his choice to walk towards the light, leaving behind the darkness that once resided in his heart. With a request to Muchido, accepting the fate of his sins, Lord Kokushibo was destroyed peacefully, leaving this world with a genuine smile.